Audio Jungle.
You think you know about relationships, but you're wrong. Listen, there's no magic bullet. I'm teaching life skills.
When you're sick, you need medicine. It don't always taste good. Nah. But it'll get you better. You need this medicine. Yeah. It ain't gonna always taste good. But this is what you need. Men and women, bottom line, we need to have the conversation. Your partner wants to give up control, but only if you know how to drive. This is about being the best you could ever be, whoever you are. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, LGBTQ, space aliens. I'll save anybody, I don't care. I'll teach a hedgehog how to have a threesome.
What do you mean by that?
Look, you don't have to listen to me, but you're wrong.
Listen, I know I'm great. And I know you're thinking, Dante, there's no way I could be like you. But you could be me, you know why?
Because you know who I was? Before I was me, I was you.
Man School 202.
Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't. What up? GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do? The sexual revolution is being podcasted, and I am excited. I had a little difficulties. I mean, don't I always have some difficulties? So it is what it is. We're ready to rock and roll. I'm trying to get the numbers up. Call in. The phone lines are open. We are in the building. Long awaited. I've been missing this whole thing, man. I've been missing talking to people. Last time we went was Thursday, and then I was out of town, so I didn't get to speak to a lot of people. But I've been doing a lot of talking to people, consultations a lot on one-on-ones. So that's dope. Welcome, my family. Let's get it. Let's go. The comments is in the building. If y'all hear me clear, please give me a thumbs up in the chat, please, on the comments. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Let me put the banner up so y'all know what it is. Bam, there we go. Questions, calling 929-264. Also, my Cash App is up. The lines are open, I believe. Just trying to save some lives, help some people out. This is something I've been doing. I've been doing a lot. I want to take some time to explain the 5 bricks, at least until we get a phone call. Okay. This is free game. I'm giving you free game on this. What I do find, though, is whether or not I give free game or not doesn't matter, because nobody listens to me. No matter what I say, they do a version of what I do. We got a call. Let's see. Let's see how we sound. Yellow? Okay. Bam. What's going on? Who am I talking to? Where are you calling from? What's going on, Zave? How you been, bro? Are you on speakerphone or no? You sound now. I now don't hear the echo. It sounds better now. Did you put the phone in your head? So, yeah, sounds better now. Okay, what's going on? Oh yeah. That one kind of went a little viral. That one was good. It was just, yeah, a lot of people, it resonated with a lot of people, because I think one of the things that let me just say this to people who call up and y'all bare your souls on an open forum like this. I really appreciate that, because what ultimately happens is you think that your situation is just your situation, and it's really everybody's situation. I mean, everybody wants to act like they're special, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but everybody's human. There's a human level that things happen, and it happens to everybody. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Yeah. 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 Oh, you mean when you were talking to your therapist? So are you ultimately saying that this is the problem that I have with I mean, I hate to say it, with the therapy. I always go, let's, like, you got to go to therapy, you got to, get this trauma out. But I'm also, there's a lot of, I think we are so apprehensive about therapy in general. I don't think that we always we get the best of therapists, where there's a cognitive kind of programming that you're trying to win. I don't know if they're trying to get the solution. Do you find that to be the case, that because it's funny you said that you go into therapy and then you're like, woe is me. And I'm like, a lot of times I'll hear these guys will have these problems and they'll be devastated. Like I could hear that uh I could hear his voice change while I was talking to him. Do you know what I mean? Um Maybe it's my intuitiveness to understand that, but I don't know. Like when you go to therapy and you talk about your trauma, what do they just let you? What do you want to talk about, or like how does that work? Yeah, 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 yeah. And you never heard that from your therapist, and nobody ever said that. Nobody thought to say that. I don't. So you're paying him. You're paying. And y'all just in the desert with no water, no map, no ideas. We're like, oh, I guess this was weird. We'll eat sand. I guess. I don't. I really don't get. It's crazy to me because that it's crazy to me because it's just like I don't know. Like what is it? Just you supposed to feel better? I mean, call in if somebody's going to therapy. Are you just supposed to feel better? But I think you have to have a perspective on how to get around it. I mean, the trauma that we carry is the trauma that we carry um, because somebody did something to us, and it's the way we've learned to cope. We've found a crappy way to cope. I think the way that we cope is deep. I mean, you do the best that you can at the time when the trauma is happening, if that makes sense. But then you become a grown man, right? At some point in time, you become a grown man, and you're going, hey, okay, I'm not reassessing this trauma differently. Um, uh, I'm not assessing this trauma differently now. I'm just, and I'm in the place, and this is, I mean, this was the problem I thought with Kevin Samuels, that I thought was a problem with him. Just no answers, just no answers. Just you're talking about people who are under a lot of trauma in general, and and then because I don't get me wrong, I think a lot of the women that called in there were broken, and they wanted the abuse. They wanted to be abused. I mean, for lack of a better word, because they would go and deal with somebody who you know that if you 45 years old, got two baby fathers, and you 210 pounds, like why would you call? He's not gonna give you nothing but all the smoke. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I mean, I'm always looking for the what you call it, for the solutions, man. But Xavier, man, thanks for calling in. I got a bunch of people calling in. Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Okay. Yeah. 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 He was like, you got it figured out. In fact, let me take this call, Zave, because the phone's blowing up. All right, give me a sec. Yeah. Uh, all right, call back. Whoever was calling, call back, man. I'm trying to get y'all in. It's a yeah. The story that Xavier's talking about is
I was going to therapy, and my therapist, I actually do a joke about this on stage. I do a joke about how my therapist said to me, he had been coming, and my wife at the time was just out of her mind. And yeah, there we go. And the therapist, Yellow, what's going on? How are you, brother? Good to hear from you. How can I help you, bro? Oh, you can't hear them? Is everybody saying in the chat you can't hear them at all, or? Oh shit! All right, here we go. Oh gosh. I've been. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me hold on one second. Let's try that. Let me see. Test it. Okay, that's working. Let's see the speakers. All right. I'm hoping this. All right. Did you have a question, or you just wanted to tell me that we couldn't hear you? Right. Yeah. You're saying it's on purpose because it's a hustle, and the intention is to make money, and uh-huh. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, I get you. I mean, I just think, damn, we can't hear the callers. I don't know what the heck is going on. Oh, I had the same problem last time. Let me see real quick. Change the hold on, dog. Microphone. Speaker default. I'm sorry, man, if we can't hear this. I don't know. I mean, you can't really. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I'm gonna, if this doesn't work, what we're gonna do is I'll just do the calls from the chat, because for some reason this sucks so bad, man. Man, because I really want y'all. I really feel like the last time we did whatever, it was just so dope, because you know what? Let me shut the. You know what, dog? Let me go. I'm gonna call back if you want to call back. I'm gonna shut down the line, and then get back on it. Okay. All right, bro. All right, brother. Later. Yeah. I don't know what's going on, fellas. I apologize. This is the second time this happened, and I don't. Once I got it right, and I start changing the damn TMs. Let me look at the chat. Oh, Detroit was dope. Just anybody who was out in Detroit, me and Godfrey was out in Detroit. Let me see if I can open this thing up one more again and see if we can get some phone calls. New window. Bang. All right. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, I what I wanted to say about the therapist. I mean, I'm always recommending, to be working on yourself and to use a legitimate therapists uh, to kind of deal with these things. But I am neglectful. Okay, the lines are open. If y'all want to call back, y'all can call back. Let me see if we can hear y'all what the deal is. I just really feel like I really feel like a lot of the therapists are not. Um, I don't know if it's just not being honest or what. I'm not sure what it is, but I think there is a definite situation where therapists are milking you for the money. The number's up 929 269 4922. You know what? Let me call and see what it is. I'm sorry, y'all. It's a nightmare. But what it is I think you're right. What Xavier was saying is that it is a hustle. I mean, it is a hustle for them. They're in business to get people to pay money for spots. And I was like, there's a situation where I just think that everybody doesn't. Look, everybody's clearly not practicing ACE. So there's a situation where their intention is not always the best. And so you got to make sure that you got a legitimate uh, therapist where they're trying to escalate. And something else I recommend is that you have something specific that you're working on. You have to have an idea about what you're working on just to go to therapy, just to be going to therapy. Which is interesting because I feel like I always say you have to anything you do, you should have an intention. There should always be an intention. Let me check the line. Uh, uh, yeah. I'm gonna. Okay, chat. Pay attention if y'all hear me. Let me know if y'all hear me in the chat. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2. Do y'all hear me talking in the chat? Off the mic. Y'all hear me talking in the chat? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I'm not talking. Not talking into the mic. So anybody, give me a thumbs up if y'all hear me. Yes. Okay. All right, cool. All right, so the lines are back up. I just needed to reboot it. Okay, so anybody that called, I apologize. Oh, yeah, never mind. I guess I don't have to say something. You're trying to get this work in. I love it. Chris, what's going on? Chris, can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me, family? Yeah, what's going on, bro? Man, I hope so, man. I hope so. We're trying to help you more. Anything I can help you with today? Any questions or just giving me a shout? Sure. Let's go. Yeah. Oh God, the audio went out again. The audio went out again. Shit. No, I don't know. Let me ask the chat. Can y'all hear the audio of the caller? It went in and out, and I can reboot again. But go ahead. I'll talk about. It's not working again. God damn. Tell me what the situation, and I'll repeat it so everybody can hear, and I'll just reboot the call. Shit, I lost them. Fuck. I'm sorry. Man, I'm so pissed off at this thing. You know what? Anybody that's on the live, just put your question in on the on the in the chat. God, it's crazy. I just feel so bad because I'm ready. I'm really excited about getting it popping, and I just feel like we every time there's always this technical stuff that keeps me from doing what I want to do. So there's that. Let's try and boot it up again. Yeah. Oh, great. Everything's off now, right? Shit. I think I shut down. Oh, I'm up. All right. Let's see if it works. Phone lines is up again. Let's try it one more time. God damn. So, yeah, but what I was talking about was the therapy. That it's weird to me that something that is so. And I didn't go to school for psychology. I can yes. Let me do. I see Domo Kid. All right. Let me break down the 5 bricks. Because this is what he says. I see Domo Kid said break down the 5 bricks a day procedure that Dante came up with. I'm new to this side of town. Here we go. Okay. So the 5 bricks is a situation where it helps you to become more social so that you can address women and kind of pursue your you can pursue your happiness in the way that you want, relationships, hookups, whatever. And here's the situation. What I need you to do. You need to go out and pay 5 compliments to 5 different women every day, right? I usually recommend at least 8 weeks, but usually I do this with guys under my tutelage. So you would do it for a week and a half, and then we would do a consultation, and then I would review what was going on, and I would guide you in a different direction. I'm actually going to put together an online course so that you can have the basic fundamentals so that you could save money on consultations and stuff. So you have a basic fundamentals, but I'll explain it real quick and I'll recap it. You got to pay 5 compliments to 5 women every day. Those compliments have to be honest. Those compliments have to be non-sexual. And the initial phase, you are not allowed to get the telephone number. You're not in this to try to get the number because you're going to screw it up. And I say this to everybody, anybody that I consult with. I can get you to wherever you want to be, but you understand this, you're going to screw it up. Here's why you're going to screw it up. 2 things that you need to understand that every man is supposed to be, I put that in quotes, good at is sex and relationships. Yet, if you haven't been in relationships, if you don't have somebody guiding you, how could you possibly be good at either? Nobody expects you to be great at ping pong if you don't play ping pong every day. It's just an absurd ask. So there's that. Secondly, the principles of the podcast, of the show, all the content I put, the basic fundamental principles are ACE. ACE is authenticity, credibility, and empathy. Hold on, we got a call, and I'm gonna get back to this. Let me see if we can hear. Let me. Hello. Okay, let me know in the chat if y'all hear the caller as soon as he comes in. Hello, who am I speaking with? Oh, Chris, you couldn't hear, they couldn't hear you for some reason. I don't know. Let me just ask the cat, let me just ask the chat. Chat, can you hear Chris? Say something. Give me a test 1, 2, 3, Chris. All right, tell me, somebody give me a thumbs up if you can hear Chris. One more time to Chris. No sound. All right, you tell me what the question is, and then I'll repeat it, and then I'll figure this out for next time around. What's your question? Okay, been with your girlfriend for 12 years. I mean, you give me a little piece, I'll repeat it. Been with your girlfriend for 12 years. Y'all broke up. Go ahead. Okay, so this is your baby's mother. Y'all broke up. You're trying to get back. Now, here's my question to you. What do you think? What is she saying about y'all getting back? Okay, so let me say this. If your lady says that you're toxic and she doesn't think you're ready to get back, this is what we have to do too. We have to learn how to kind of read what somebody's communicating. If somebody is saying toxic, if she's saying you're not ready, right? We do understand that she feels as though she's communicating you that you're not ready. Yes, that is true. The problem is this. The problem is that she's also communicating is that she wants to get back. I understand this is how many kids you have? Because so you got one kid, okay, and you have three by who? How many other women? So you got three by three other women and one by her. Okay, so let me ask you something. If I said that, okay, so it's 3 kids by 3 other women. If I said that to you, and the girl says you're too toxic, what do you think? What do you think? So if I told you that story, I got 3 baby mamas. What would you think if you were your girl's father? What would you think? What would you say to your girl? And she's talking to some guy who got 3 baby mamas. What? Yeah, but you also, how old are the kids? Okay, so hold on. So you got 3, you got 4, 13, and 15 kids. You got 3 different baby mamas. You fucking up, Chris. You fucking up. There's no way that you're gonna be able to give each one of those kids the energy, the time and energy you need to be as a father. And what would make you think that this is a good situation? Yeah, but I could see if you had one situation where if you had a baby and then all of a sudden something happened, you made a mistake, but this is your third. Like this is unfair to the kids to have 3 different baby mothers, right? It is unfair to the women that you're dealing with. When she says you're toxic and you're not ready, she's absolutely right. What makes this situation different from any other situation? The 3 other situations. What makes her think that you're not going to do the same thing again? There is no answer to it. I mean, I know you're trying to give me an answer why you would have 3 baby mamas by 3 different. It's just reckless. What we really need to deal with is what made you think that none of these decisions were reckless? Now, understand something. I'm not judging you, right? But come on, I mean, look, if you have, we're in this world where we run around with dumb people doing dumb crap all the time. We're literally in a situation because every one of the consultations that I do today, I would say 90% of the consultations that I do on every basis is because somebody's father wasn't there doing what they were supposed to do because they didn't want to, they were too selfish to, they didn't have the time, they didn't have the energy. So in what case scenario would you have 3? I mean, first of all, having 3 kids is difficult anyway. But to have 3 kids with 3 different baby mama, Do you understand how the magnitude of the selfishness of that? Because whatever every guy that comes on this live, every guy that doesn't know how to deal with women and doesn't end up in situations, every guy who has been scorned by his mother because the son looks like you, in essence. The dude who's having babies on her, who's unavailable, who's just shooting up the club. You know, I mean, even if you were cheating or whatever, which I don't even require that, but why you just leaving it in, Chris? Like, it's crazy. The only person you're creating a generation of men who will not be able to cope. It's going to be great for me. What you're doing is you're creating a situation where you're getting a bunch of boss bitches, women who can't cope because their mother's gonna be bitter about you, and they're gonna teach them the same crap that every other woman. When we look online and we looking at these, this is what you're doing because what your daughters are gonna do. Do you want your daughter to have a guy like you, who's got 3 baby mamas and knocks her up and just keeps it moving? Is that what you wanted? Is that what you want for your daughters? Why would you do that to somebody? Like, part of this whole thing that we do here, you said hell, I'm sorry, because they can't hear the audio. He says hell no. He said hell no, he wouldn't want that, right? So my point is, if you wouldn't want that for your daughters, why would you create a scenario that creates that perpetuates that situation? What we have to understand is, when we have children, what we have a responsibility to these kids, not just in what we say, but what we do. The man that you are is the man that your daughters are gonna date. They're gonna date you, right? The son, if you have sons and you're not practicing ACE, your sons will become your sons will become the person that you are. So if you got 3 baby mamas and you're not really there, now you feel like, oh, I want to go back to someone. It's just, I mean, come on, Chris, you and I both know that this is trash. This whole situation is trash. And I don't mean to come down on you, but what you're doing is you're dooming your children to go through the same crap that your baby mamas are going through. And you're dooming your sons to do this. Go ahead, ask me a question. So you got the house, you got the car, you have custody of the old. If this sounds weird, it's because the audio of the call is not coming through. And so you have the house, you have custody of your old. You got 2 other baby mamas. I mean, I don't know. Even if you could hook up a polyamorous thing, which I don't think you could, because you haven't really been trustworthy throughout this whole thing. If you want these things, I mean, to have a polyamorous thing. Yeah, you should never read Vaughn. Vaughn don't know what the hell she's talking about. So this is, I mean, I love Vaughn to death, but like, Vaughn got her own problems, and that's no disrespect to her. But what we're talking about no, she wasn't on the board, because on the board means that you have to be, in order for her to think of that there might be a polyamorous thing where you and all your baby's mamas can come together and live in the house, you have to be trustworthy. If you're not trustworthy, you're not going to have that. If you're just being selfish, you can't be selfish. You can't be untrustworthy. You're not being credible, and you're not being empathetic to the women around you. And so how do they trust you to come together in this commune thing where you have multiple wives or multiple women, kids living together and everybody getting along, when you haven't even put your best foot forward in the first place? You can't. You can't do it. Nobody's gonna buy. Nobody's signing up for that. I don't care whose book they read. You got to be credible. You have to start just showing up for the kids. If you show up for the kids and you show up for these women the way that you know you should, and stop running the streets and don't have no more kids, please, Chris. Don't have no more kids. Just pull out something. Like it's what you're doing is you're creating a situation that is only going to be toxic. And when you're dead and gone, you're gonna leave kids back that are gonna be in pain because you didn't give enough of a fuck about them. It's not fair. And if you love these kids, do the right thing by them. I mean, think about the mothers and everything. But if you're doing right by the kids, understand when the mothers, when all your baby mamas stop liking you because you just doing disrespectful and trash stuff. If you're taking care of those kids, they will at least be able to look at that. But you got to tell the truth. You got to show up when you're supposed to show up, and you got to have the empathy to understand is. To imagine what these women are looking at or what they went through when you had to tell them I got another baby from somebody else. Each time. Oh, we broke up. So I met this girl. I just knocked up. And the money that it costs to raise kids like that, right? I don't know what you're doing, right? But I don't care what you're doing. It ain't enough money. Not in America. You can't have 3 kids and not be making at least $250,000 a year. I don't know if you are. I'm not judging, but I'm saying so that we have children that grow up and be and are going to be productive, balanced people. There has to be a responsibility in that. You feel me? And what you're doing is it's F-boy crap. Like, my only pain is, I mean, it's gonna be great for me because I'll be consulting your daughters and your son, but Doug, that's not what I want. Your priority has to be these children. They did not ask for any of this. You just put them under this. You took 3 innocent little beings and put them up on some BS because you didn't care enough. It's corny. It's real corny. I'm not saying you corny, but I'm just saying it's. But I have to wonder: did your pops have multiple kids and multiple baby mothers? So your dad got 5 by 5 baby mamas. This is exactly. Yeah. So he's locked up for 20 years. He gets 5 kids by 5 baby mamas. Do you understand how? I mean, and you as a kid, was he there for you? No, because he was locked up for 20 years, right? And so here you come out and you look at this, and then you perpetuate the same thing all over again. It's insane. It's insane, dog. How do we grow as a people? How do we have any severance of happiness or something when we're living check to check, just by, you know what I'm saying? Because you understand the kind of money you would have to make in order to take care of those kids with all the things that they need without struggling. It ain't fair, man. And your dad wasn't fair. Your dad wasn't fair to you. So I get it. This is cyclical. This becomes cyclical. And So you're the only one out of the kids, and you got brothers. But here's my point. Even with that, the trauma, just because of your dad's crap that he put on you manifested it to itself in your ways that you mimicked his same nonsense. But I guarantee your sisters and your brother have other trauma that they have, in the neglectfulness and abandonment and stuff. It's just so unfair when you see. I remember when I had my son, and my son, I was there for the birth, and my son came out, and I was like, I want to do everything for this kid that he don't have to feel the pain that I felt. And there's things that I really didn't have control over, because she snatched my son, took him across this, across the pond. But I'm still working because you can't control what people do. So you have to pick the people that you pick is respective of the things that are going on. If you have somebody who doesn't have that kind of stability, and to be honest, my wife, her mother did the same thing to her. Two baby daddies, and snatched the kids and took the kids away. So you saying there's times when you admit that you didn't care, right? But go ahead, ask me the question, because this is weird, because we're having a conversation and they can't hear your end of the conversation. It's just unfair to everybody else. So just hit me with the question, and then I'll repeat the question, and then I'm gonna go on with the next call. Hit me, bro. Okay. And I want to appreciate. First of all, I want to say I appreciate you calling in. It's important to hear this. Okay. So you felt like you were being righteous the whole time, but in what way? In what way? So you were telling her you wanted to do. You were telling her you didn't want to be monogamous, but okay, but being monogamous is not the same as having kids. Here's my thing. When you stop, listen to this. You just said my third baby mama. That should never come out of your mouth. I don't care what the situation is. If you wrapped it up, listen, you didn't get pregnant. Nobody got pregnant by accident. This is just basic recklessness. This. Just because you told her, which baby mom did you tell were you so honest with? Do you understand what I'm saying? Even when you're telling this story, go ahead. Okay. You were saying you were honest about it, but how were you honest? What did you say? You would tell these women. Tell them what? What would you tell them? What would you tell these women? Okay, then why are you putting a baby in them? If you're not going to be monogamous, why are you putting a baby in them? She can. Okay, you're saying you let her know, and then you got her pregnant. You know why you let her get her? Listen, it wasn't from pre-cum. You're not gonna sell that to me. I'm too old, and I've been around. I knew her drunk. You splashed off. Okay, and let's be honest. It wasn't one time. You got to be honest to me. I'm not going to let you not be honest to me. If you want to have this conversation, I'm not going to have you tell me it was one time that you splashed off. You were splashing off in this chick. That's why she's pregnant. Never, only once, only one time. Okay. All of this. Okay. Now you said you shouldn't have been driving. You were drunk, and this is why you splashed off. What's crazy about this is the fact. Here's the crazy thing, Chris, and this is like, I'm not being judgmental about this, but I want you to say, why would you be drunk driving? You have let's just say you didn't get this woman pregnant, and you were drunk driving, and you went to her house, and then she caught you up, and she remembers when you got her pregnant, but man, my head hurts because because let me finish. Yes, I get that. But here's my thing. I want to rewind. I want to because I don't even think you know what I'm going to talk about. You're saying I know guys do dumb shit and they were drunk and then here's the thing. You're drunk driving. You so drunk that you don't even know. Blah 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 blah. What if something would have happened to you? Where would your two kids have been? Forget about the fact that you had another baby after the fact that you're drunk driving and you're not even being responsible enough. I don't care what the party is. I don't care how bad the bitch was. I don't care how shit was pumping. You have two kids. You had a kid. You left that one. You had another baby mama. You're on your second baby mama and you're driving drunk and you're literally going, I was so drunk I shouldn't even be driving, as if that's an excuse. Let's deal with the fact that you was drunk, risking your life when you have people that depend on you. Chris, do you understand how crazy that is? So forget about the baby. The simple fact that you weren't even you talk about you was being honest. You were being dishonest you were being dishonest. Okay, let me say something to you. If you are telling the truth, 90% of the time, that is the definition of a liar. You understand that? Listen to did you hear what I said? I don't need because they can't hear you. 90% of telling the truth, 90% of the time it means you're a liar. So what I'm saying is this is so layered in terms of where no responsibility on the first child, no responsibility on the second child, drunk driving. So you're so drunk that you get somebody else pregnant because you don't have no responsibility, no obligation, no credibility to your first kids. By drunk driving, you die and then what? What help do they have? Now they just got a dead father. Because you partying, Chris? Come on, dog. If that's what you want to do, go get snipped. Or stop splashing off. And I don't care if it was one time. It's not one time when you got two baby mamas before that. You feel me? I got to keep it 100 with you. But let's say this. So you got three baby mamas. You're handling you're asking me. You talking about trying to get back with this one. Your obligation is to these kids first. Because if you're expecting a woman to be accountable for whatever actions because she was in love with you and she was like, oh, just put it in there, whatever. Why would you do that? Understand something. This is the last thing I'm going to say, Chris, and I'm going to let you go because they can't hear us at all, this would be a great call for people to hear. You there, right, Chris? You still there? Yeah. This would be a great call for people to hear the whole interaction. But I'm not talking about comedy. You got three baby mamas. You got three baby mamas and you drunk driving and not. There's no way you're gonna be. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, so here, you saying that was 5 years ago that this happened. My question is, what's different now than what wasn't different then? I refuse to talk to you about you doing comedy 4 months ago. No, wait. I want you to understand something, because even if you're talking about your comedy and you want me to talk about, I can't even, because what you don't understand, great comics are honest in their life. They're honest in their life. They're responsible in their life, and then they have what you're expressing is truth. Great comics express truth. But you got to live that first. So what I'm saying is, Doug, and I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know what other job you got or whatever, but if you're doing 4 months in comedy, count on not making money for 5 years or very little money. You ain't gonna live off of comedy. Not unless you, I mean, I don't know, not unless you do Country Wayne and you gonna content creator. But I understand something. Even when Country Wayne blew up because of content creation, he was shooting and producing 9 videos a week, 9 short little sketches and film a week, putting it out. He had to understand the algorithm. Doug, it doesn't work that way. You have responsibilities, Chris, and you're not taking care of them. You're saying you agree with me that the money wise, financially, that this is having 3 kids is a difficult thing to do. Yes? Okay. I know, because you gotta be sucking wind, because even if you got it, because sometimes I'm tight and I got 1. I get that, but it's not the village is here's what the village is. The village has to start with your authenticity, your credibility, and your empathy. All right, first of all, I appreciate, let me say this. I appreciate you being candid about what your situation so we could talk about it. But I really want you to see that this is a sickness that came from a father who had spent 20 years in prison and had 5 baby mamas from 5 different kids from 5 baby mamas. It couldn't have been good to you. It couldn't have been good for you. Couldn't have. Chris, call back, bro. I appreciate you listening, man. And you know what I'm saying? Call back when I'm gonna get this sound right, and let's call back and talk some more, because we need to talk more, because it's about these kids. You feel me? Chris, thank you for calling, man, bro. Love, okay? Really. All right, brother. All right. So I'm gonna fill in. Anybody that has a question or whatever, put it in the comments, because I can't. I can't. Wow. I mean, I don't mean to be rough on him like that, but it's like, God damn. I mean, this is here's the crazy thing about man. Let me get my head together. Here's the thing, what we don't, 95 to 99% of the calls I get is because of vacant parents or broken people or trauma. And don't get me wrong, life is trauma. But dog, the minute you take those, you put a kid in this, then nobody cares about you no more. I'm gonna tell you, because what you're doing is you're dooming your kids. I've listened to hundreds of times of phone calls where I delve into somebody's life, and at the root of their inability to get laid, inability to be in a relationship, inability to function, inability having multiple kids and multiple baby mamas, or women who are who are crappy moms who have their kids, and then you look like your son looks like you, and she resents you. So she treats you like trash. And oh man, it's crazy when you think about this is extensive thing. And we're perpetuating this generation after generation after generation, and we're not even giving our kids a fair shake. It's unfair, dog. All the excuses it don't matter. I mean, look, we can have all the excuses we want, but what happens in the interim is that the only people that are hurt by this is these little innocent people that didn't ask to come, and they become grown people who have to come to me later and help you decipher this out. DanteNero.com, click on consult, get a consultation on. Let's fix this. We got to do better. I mean, this is why I think the ACE is so important, because you start with the truth. After the truth, you have credibility, meaning you got to say what you mean and mean what you say, and you got to have the empathy. The empathy is just as important. If the empathy at the end of this has nothing to do with, if you're not even doing, how do you take a woman that has your child and put her through this? Because you want to be fly. Yeah, take that. You know what happened to Diddy? Like, you know what I'm saying? This is unfair. And what's horrible about this is the trauma that a guy like Chris has gone through because his father didn't know no better. 20 years in the penitentiary and 5 baby mamas, and there's just no way that as a man you could be in the penitentiary and have, I mean, you could be out of the pig, you could be rich and have 5 kids and not take care. Look at Donald Trump, billionaire. He don't take care of none of his kids, right? What we're talking about is just on a base level what what we embark on. People will buy a Labrador retriever, a puppy, a pit bull, and make more of a commitment to their pit bull than they will their own damn kids. It ain't fair, man. It ain't fair. And even if you don't have the empathy to understand what you're gonna put your kids through, man, here's the other part. What you're doing is you're dooming those kids to repeat the same thing. And if not, repeat a version of it. So, okay, you there's trauma and insecurity and people are fun and everybody, and what do we do as human beings? We go, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yo, it was rough, but I'm fine. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. And what's really sad to me, what really hurts me more than anything, is here's a dude who got it done to himself. Xavier, thank you for the super chat. Says my dad, let me put this up. My dad was like Chris, it's selfish and it's reckless. We got to do better as men. My mom resented me for looking like him. This is what I just said, looking like him, and she took her anger out on me. And then as a child, because she doesn't know how to understand something as a man, if you're going to be a strong man, if you're going to be what you call an alpha or whatever, I don't even know what the heck what you would call it, but I will tell you this, without a doubt, I'm going to answer this, but I'm going to just take the call and then get off the phone. Without a doubt, hold on 1 second, dog. I got you on the line. Let me just finish this point. What happens is this: you have to be strong enough as a man to protect yourself from your woman's emotions. You got to be strong enough as a man to protect yourself from the emotions, and you got to be strong enough as a man to protect your relationship from her emotions. You cannot just let somebody recklessly do what they want because you're letting emotion have a seat at the table. Hello, who am I speaking with? What's going on, E? What's your question? We're having a problem with the sound, so I would ask that you ask the question, and I'll repeat the question as quickly and as briefly as possible, and then I will answer. I'll repeat it to the audience, and then I'll answer it. Okay. Okay, so you're the youngest out of 7. Excuse me if I keep you repeating. You're the youngest out of 7, and you're saying that you were raised like Chris as well. But go ahead. Yeah. So your dad directed you to sleep whoever you wanted to sleep with. Okay. Now, did he say anything about kids or no? Uh-huh. Okay, so he said at least be a man, but get to the question. What's your question? So this was somebody that you had a kid with, or somebody that you didn't have a kid with? Okay. Okay. Right. O- Okay, so you had a let me recap for the audience. With so you were cheating on her, you broke up with her, she wanted to make it work. You gotta I need you to get to the question because this is really crappy for the listener, and it's my fault. But just can you go okay, go ahead. You went to Florida. You ended up homeless. Ha- Yeah, right, right. Okay. Yeah, but here's the thing. So she broke up with you. She's got a kid already. What are you doing? Move on. Move on. Yeah, if you're asking me what that she has a kid, she has a baby by somebody else. She's not taking care of the kids, and you're saying that y'all was supposed to be together, but you weren't. She okay. She's good. Okay, but here's my thing. You're saying he's not taking care of three kids. He's a bit like all of this is a effing mess. Why would you put yourself in a situation that's already messy? You people who are all supposed to be on the same page can't be on the same page half the time. How you gonna make this work? You got a homeless scare. You getting your head on your feet. Like I understand something. Anytime the story is this long and this involved, you probably should leave it alone. Yeah, you don't got no kids with her. You have no obligation to her. Go find somebody who don't have no kids and who doesn't have the trauma. But here's yeah, you're perpetuating this problem by getting into a situation. Who knows what her situation is going to be with her baby's father? You don't know. At some point in time, he might be like, "Oh, I want to be back in my kids' life. I'm gonna start taking." And now you with somebody with some clown who doesn't want to, who moves like the wind, that doesn't know anything. Yeah, it's just why do that to yourself? How old are you? All right, so you're 26, 27. Man, move on and get somebody fresh. Don't do this. Don't do this to yourself. She's got a problem already. You're getting ready, and you're like, yo, I want in on this. I want in on this. Okay, but here's my question. If you're moving up, why would you ever do something that's gonna set you back? Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to you. I'm you getting ready. Look, you keep giving me an answer because you want me to tell you something that I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you to go back to this girl. I'm just not going to do it. If you do it, you do it. You're going to do it on your own accord. But I'm telling you, there's no. And you're saying to me, you're also saying to me, people change and this that. That's because you want this chick. You want it. You have feelings for her. What do I say all the time? Never let emotion have a seat at the table. You are being guided by your emotions because you had something with this woman and at one time, and your perception of what with this woman is unrealistic. She's got another baby by somebody else, and he got three kids, and you're 26, 27 years old. What are you doing? You're literally trying to climb the ladder with a 60-pound weight pack on your back. Why would you do that? You know, but you want to do this because you have emotions for it. And what? Well, here's my question, and I think we're going to answer the question because they can't hear us. But what makes this any different from it? What makes this? What has she done that would make you think she's changed? You said people change all the time. What did she do that changes? Not a damn thing. It's the same situation, making the same decisions that you make. And you're 26 years old. You don't have no kids. You got an opportunity to meet somebody and be with somebody and be a great dad and have a great family and your kids not have the problems that her kids have. With some baby daddy with 3 other baby mamas, who knows how many. You know what I'm saying? It's just like anytime, like when there's a wisdom to things that people don't realize a lot of times. And what that wisdom is, how they say, if you want to eat right, anytime you look on the back of the package, if it's a whole bunch of chemicals, don't eat it. You don't have to look up and know what hydroxyline is or nothing. If it has a lot of ingredients, don't eat it. If there's all of these layers to this that you trying to fit you trying to gerrymander yourself in the middle of this, why would you do that? Loving somebody shouldn't be that hard. Yeah, what's the question? And then I gotta go because they can't hear you. Okay, so your question is, and I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna repeat the question. Okay. All right. His question was, how come I get the women who have all the problems and the women that I want are not attracted to me? Okay. This is what happens ultimately, and this is going to be painful and personal, right? What happens is when we have low self-esteem, when we don't know, when we haven't really worked our own self-esteem out, what we do is subconsciously we sabotage ourselves. When we get a nice girl who might be able to do the right thing or whatever, she's not good enough. You know why she's not good enough? Because if we don't think, I'm gonna see if I can explain this, and then I'm gonna close this live out because I'm frustrated with not being able to talk to people the way I want to talk to people. It's just pain in the neck. But here's the thing. This is something that happens, and it happens over and over again. When you don't feel like you have personal value, what you do is when somebody else thinks that you have value, when somebody else thinks you're important, what they do is they make sure they sabotage their own lives. Because in essence, what they're saying is, hey, I don't like me. I'm wondering why you like me. I don't think I ain't shit. So why would you like me? And if you like me, what you're saying in essence is, you like me, there's something wrong with you. There's an old saying that says I would never be part of a club that would have me as a member. If you don't believe that you're worthy and something good happens to you, when it's something, then you push. Exactly. Lethal flat fist. Exactly. You push them away. You push because you don't think that you deserve it. That's men, women, and otherwise. And so what you have to do is first of all, you got to book a consultation, and I'll help you work on your self-esteem. Second of all, you have to start picking the people that are going to give you the outcomes that you want, not the ones that you can't, that you're not going to get. If you got a leaky sink, don't call a carpenter, call a plumber. Just like if you want a life with somebody who's going to be productive and love you in summer, you don't call some trash chick who's got all kinds of trauma, who got baby daddies. Call a plumber, dog. Call a plumber. Somebody who's going, at least that you have because even when everything is right, even when everything seems as though it's right, it still don't necessarily work out. It still can end up screwed up. Why? Because you still got to fit the pieces together, find a way to work, and that's difficult enough. And if you don't have knowledge of yourself and you don't understand who and what you are, I guarantee you will continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. Stop ignoring the red flags. Thanks, Matt. Matt, the all of the above. He put a bunch of red flags. Let me just give you a quick synopsis, and then I'm gonna close this live down about landing 5 bricks. Paying 5 compliments to 5 women every day, not looking for the number. They're not just attractive girls that you want to be with. It's the girls that you want to be with, the ones that you don't. What you do, it first of all, it teaches you how to be social. Second thing, the compliment that you give them has to be honest. If it's not honest, because all of y'all lie. You may not lie maliciously, but you tell white lies, or you tell lies that chip away at your currency and your credibility. So you have to practice telling the truth. And then when you don't get the number, when you're speaking to somebody, you learn to talk without it being transactional. What I mean by transactional, I'm trying to sell you something and you don't want to buy it. Or I'm trying to sell you something, and because I believe you're trying to sell me something, my defenses are up because I don't want you to sell me something I don't need. What's that? What were you trying to? You trying to sell some dick, or you trying to whatever you trying to do? But it's transactional. You have to learn how to talk to somebody when it's not transactional, because when you are thirsty and you're talking to somebody, it's the easiest thing in the world for a woman to read that you're thirsty, that you're needy, that you don't have options, or even the options that you do have is not the options you want. So there's laying 5 bricks, 5 different women every day, young, old, skinny, fat, whether you're interested, whether you're not interested, just pay a compliment. Be honest about it. Be present, because we also need to learn how to be present. We need to listen and be present so that we can take information in. And then you just walk away. You do that as a practice, because most guys who haven't had a lot of experience, they think that if they speak to a woman that the woman is going to destroy their life. And women ain't really scary. They're not that scary. What you're more afraid of what the response might be. And the response, because fear has a tendency to escalate, the more, so when you're presented with an opportunity, the opportunity is presented to you. The longer you take to access the opportunity, the more the fear grows. Thank you, Jonathan, for the 1999 clear fact. Let me put this up real quick. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Says facts, 100%. I found 15 minutes of a consultation with you more helpful than 3 months of therapy. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Tell him. DanteDenver.com. Click on consult. You can book with me. This is what I do. Tell him, Jonathan, this is what I do. Saving lives, dog. Saving lives. You have to learn these principles. And if you don't learn these principles, then you're in a war with no ammo, dog. You're not ready. You ain't ready for the Super Bowl. I'm not a huge football fan, but I am a Giants fan. And I remember when the Giants won the Super Bowl, and that and what you call it, Kiki, I think it was Kiki that caught the pass on his helmet. The reason why he could do that is because he had done it thousands of times in practice. You got to be ready for the Super Bowl, but we got to work on the fundamentals first, and that's why you go check out make sure y'all like and subscribe on the channel. Make sure y'all sign up for the Patreon, because I talk about, Harry and I kind of discuss this stuff on the Patreon. www.patreon.com /manschool2. Let me put that up real quick. Don't forget the Patreon. The Patreon I do a lot of bonus content. We do an extra show on there, so you get content with that. Also, that's how I keep doing this, through the Patreon. The Patreon is the backbone of me allowing, giving me space to do this. but you got to learn these principles. And I can tell you it, you can try it, but ultimately you're going to have some guidance. Anything you want to be good at, you got to have a coach. I mean, unless you're exceptional, and let's be honest, you have to work at being exceptional. It just doesn't come natural. I appreciate y'all, man. Don't forget the consultations. Don't forget the Patreon. Don't forget to listen. I will have this bug. I promise I will have this bug. In fact, I think I'm going to do a live on Thursday to see if I get the bug out of the phone calls, because it's really annoying me. I mean, and y'all really, I would love to y'all to hear the conversation with me and Chris. Shout out to Chris for calling in and being honest, man. That's the start. But yo, y'all the dopest fans in the world, man. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Peace. We out of here.